Hello, my beautiful Capricorns. Welcome back to Queen Cup Tarot. I am just catching a vibe, putting a little bit of frankincense on the burn, getting ready to do your January 2021 tarot readings. Happy New Year's, guys. For the newbies, welcome. It's a privilege and honor to read for you, connect with you, and ascend with you. Please like, share, subscribe. It is much appreciated. And for Angel Gang, the usual suspects, Wagwan, guys, Happy New Year. I hope you're doing well. I just want to thank you guys for just sending me so much love and doing this thing called Ascension with me for, 2.5 years now? We're going on 3 years in June. So I appreciate you guys, and I'm wholeheartedly excited for 2021 because I have a sneaking suspicion that all the hard work that we did and everything that we've been manifesting in the 5D is about to manifest now in the 3D. So this is why wait for everything to manifest to celebrate. Why not have undoubted faith in what's to come and have this celebratory energy? It's almost like celebrating what you did in the 5D before it ever manifesting in the 3D. And anyways, just feeling really good about the new year. But for those that typically timestamp, can you please continue to do so prior to the prayer? I have a couple of announcements. The website, www.queencup.ca, is back up, fully stocked with enough frankincense and myrrh to smoke out the devil himself. So we've got myrrh, we've got green hajari from Oman, and we've got kartiri and friana from Somaliland. I have the frankincense and myrrh butter available on the website for you guys. If you guys want to see how I made this, you guys can go to the Instagram where I share literally how I, from start to finish, how I made this oil at Smudge-A-Lot Inc. on Instagram. All this is below in the description. So if you don't like coconut oil or you want to make it yourself because it will be cheaper, you guys can buy the myrrh, buy whatever frankincense you want, use whatever carrier oil you want, and make your own butter. But if you don't want to destroy your kitchen and you don't want to waste the time, you guys can buy it here. I also have this. This is the luxury item. This is the unrefined raw honey that comes also from Oman, which is where our green frankincense comes from, our Hajari Boswellia. So this here is only harvested once a year, okay? And it's a small amount, but it's a medicinal honey. So you want to add it. I include a little rose gold spoon. You can take a spoonful, put it in a cup of hot water with a couple pieces of resin, and it makes a really beautiful tea. Or you can even use this on your face, blemishes, use it as a mask. It's a medicinal honey. And because it has boswellic acid in it, it is an anti-inflammatory. So outside of all of the medicinal properties that honey has, it also has the boswellic acid. So very excited about this, but this is only harvested once a year, so I can't guarantee that I can always have this stocked. So yes, very excited, guys. www.queencup.ca. If you guys want daily and weekly content, you guys can go over to Patreon/QueenCup, but just please take a look at some of the free content. If you vibe and you resonate with the readings and me as a reader, then you'll enjoy yourself over on Patreon. We've got a gang over there. We do this thing called Ascension and break down the energies on a more regular basis together. Okay. And yeah, I think we can get into prayer and get into the spread. Oh yes. So these burners, guys, are also available, but I don't sell them separately. They're only included in kits. So the small kit will include the small burner, 2 species of frankincense and charcoal, and the large kit includes the large brass burner, 2 species of frankincense, and the charcoal. Okay? Yeah, I didn't want to forget about that. I can't sell these separately because the limited quantity I get and how long it takes to come here. I literally get this off of a boat coming from Greece. So there is no order online. There is no DHL shipment. Like the shit is coming on a boat, as well as my charcoals. So those charcoals that I include are actually slow burn, specifically designed for resins. They're not the shisha charcoals that you get. Those will burn really fast. These charcoals take a lot longer to burn. They're called slow burns, okay? Anyways, now we can timestamp and get into it. We're going to get into prayer, and then I will get into your spread, okay? So let's do this. Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, thank you for rising me up out of my bed this morning, and thank you for connecting me with the collective every day. Right now, please allow me to communicate clearly with the collective all the messages that are in their greatest good, surrounding their material abundance, sustenance, the relationships closest to them, their personal ascension and development, and any other messages that you deem worthy at this time. Thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, for everything you do for me and the collective on a regular. All the healing energy, the support, the love, the guidance, the protection. We are nothing without it, and we are nothing without you. So glory be to the Most High forever and ever. Amen. Okay, Cap. So the energies that I was getting coming into your reading was it's never enough. That's what I was hearing. It's never enough. And for some of you, this is a projection onto somebody else, where you're feeling like they can't meet you where you're at, and no matter what efforts they put in, it isn't enough, and now the decision is yours. Some of you guys might have been projecting the need to get to a good place on somebody else, the need to get something done on somebody else. And I feel like Capricorns, you were saying it's never enough, but I think you took responsibility and said, I need to look at what's enough for me and then make an executive decision about how I want to proceed, instead of blaming somebody for not being able to meet you where you're at. Now, this could also be an inward dialogue where you are telling yourself it's never enough, or you feel like somebody is doing this to you. So in the workplace, you feel like no matter what your efforts are, it's never enough, and it doesn't give you the results, the promotion, the successioning that it is that you want. Some of you, these are efforts that you put in a relationship. No matter what you do, it never seems enough. You might feel like your partner always complains, or, or whoever this is always complaining about needing more, and you're just feeling like it's just never enough. Some of you guys are saying it to yourself. And if you are saying it to yourself, that's probably the most detrimental and dangerous than if it's being said to you, or even if you're saying it to somebody else. I mean, if you're saying it to somebody else and yourself, that's very dangerous, because it's a poverty consciousness and a mind frame of lack. And but the house, so I'm pulling houses. If you guys check out the year-end reading, I was pulling houses for all the signs. So I want to continue to do that. Anyways, the house that Capricorn got is the first house, the house of self. Physical appearance, traits and characteristics, first impressions, general outlook in the world, ego, beginning, and initiatives. So outside of this whole, it's never enough, because if this is how you're speaking to yourself, there's a need for you to surrender and appreciate you exactly where you're at. So this isn't chasing this bar of I'll be good enough and I will look at myself with the respect I deserve when I achieve this and when I do this, and your higher self is going, it's never good enough for you. We reach a bar and then you just set the bar again. So then there's this feeling of never getting somewhere, never being enough, or right. So there's a need to kind of be grateful and be in the present for where you're at towards yourself. We know you want to grow. We all want to grow, ascend, and develop, Cap, but we have to, a big part of us growing and developing is appreciating where we're at in the present and how far we've come. So you are enough, and it is enough. And if you look around, you will see the universe supports that. Now, if this is being projected onto you, you need to be mindful that that could be somebody's own internal projection. They don't feel good enough, and instead of acknowledging that, they then project it onto other people. Well, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. They don't show up. They don't do enough. But then it's like, okay, what about you? So that's a strange energy. But with regards to physical appearances and characteristics, I am getting that Capricorn is stepping into the new year physically looking really different. Some of you guys, you wrapped up the year by coming into union with your body by doing certain things. So this is, some of you guys were not in union with your body, which means you weren't really necessarily in union with your outward perspective. So how you come across to other people. And for some of you, your physical appearance, even the way you dressed and styled yourself, wasn't a true reflection of you, or wasn't giving you, like, the way people were responding to your physical appearance, like how you projected yourself physically, it wasn't in alignment. So maybe some of you, like, I'll be honest, if this could be like dressing really risky and sexy and then not liking the kind of attention that you get. So now Capricorn is going to change their physical appearance and gain a new kind of attention. Okay. A new kind of, people are going to perceive you really differently. Okay. And it's not all about physical appearance, but your physical outward expression is something. So, but I'm also getting just a really big change in your look. You guys could be chopping off your hair. You guys could be dyeing your hair. You guys could be completely changing your dress. Some of you guys, we prayed, right? Yeah. Some of you guys, I'm pretty sure we prayed. Thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, and guardian angels, for rising me up out of my bed this morning. Thank you for connecting me with the collective every day. Right now, please allow me to communicate clearly with the collective on the messages that are greatest good surrounding the material abundance, sustenance, relationships closest to them, your personal ascension and development, and any other messages that you do right at this time. Thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, and guardian angels, for everything you do for me in the collective and the regular. And the healing energy, the support, the love, the guidance, and the protection. We are nothing without it, and we are nothing without you. So glory be to the Most High, forever and ever. Amen. I did pray, I just wasn't present when I prayed. Yes, divine. They like me to be present. I was doing something. I guess I was getting the cards or something. Anyway, let's see, Capricorn, what we've got. What are the energies? I feel like you're stepping into 2021 with a focus on yourself. I feel like some of you Capricorns felt like there was a lot of external input on how you should be, how you should project yourself, and how you should look. And Capricorn is scrapping all of that, going within. And now your physical appearance, traits, and characteristics are going to be expressed genuinely and authentically instead of having to overthink how you need to express yourself in order to fit in or be received in a certain way. So this is a lot of morphing and developing. It's like you can't, it's like it's never going to be good enough. Some of you guys were chasing a certain level of attention and respect, and you felt like it wasn't good enough. It was never good enough because it's not. There is a need to, some of you guys were chasing something. Some of you guys put a lot of pressure on your body to look a certain way, and your body's saying it's never good enough. Like some of you really nitpick your body to pieces. Instead of just like loving it the way it is and then wanting change, it's not loving it until you get change and get your body where it wants to be, and it's kind of mean and oppressive. Some of you guys, your first impression over somebody is very different than what you actually end up experiencing from the person, because maybe you put a lot of emphasis on their physical appearance in the first impression. So this is shit saying like, I really like this person and they're so cool, and it's all based off of the physical appearance. But then when you actually get to know them, you go, they're not nice and they're not cool. Why did I think that way about them? It could be because of how much weight you put into somebody's physical appearance. Well, if they dress well and they have money and they have a car and a home, that means they're stable. Then you get to know them and you realize everything about their energy from a romantic, platonic, friendship, interpersonal is not stable at all. So there's this, I don't know. Some of you guys, okay. We've got Judgment in reverse, and then we've got the Six of Cups. Some of you guys are not finished karma with somebody. This is somebody that you might see as a past partner, but divine is saying you still have karma to live out with this person. Judgment hasn't been called on the situation yet. So there's still lessons, there's still experiences, and there's still truths to be exchanged between these people. I also feel like the divine could be saying you don't have a clear outlook on the past, because Judgment is saying you don't fully understand something. I feel like there's going to be information that comes in to Capricorn that is going to get you to realize why this isn't done yet. I'm getting that for some, and I'm not saying you're going to reconcile with the past, collective. What I'm saying is the karmic lessons are not completed yet. So there is a good chance a lot of you guys that are hearing about people returning from the past, this is why. It's not to necessarily reconcile with them. What it is to do is finish all the lessons, gain clarity and understanding, and then divine says, okay, we can call judgment because you've learned everything you need to from these past experiences and these relationships. But with Judgment in reverse, it's not done. Some of you guys, this is a current relationship, and you are holding on to it because you don't feel like it's done. Let's see. Then we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. And then we have the Eight of Swords in reverse. Wow. I'm getting that there is, in a relationship, there is a partner who is done and then somebody who isn't. Long and short. For some of you, you can't imagine wish fulfillment with a person from the past. And again, look at what wish fulfillment is. Some of you guys need to acknowledge that you need healing, because that would be wish fulfillment. But some of you guys aren't acknowledging you need healing and think wish fulfillment would just be coming into union, getting back together with somebody, or manifesting a soulmate. Some of you guys need to be open to wish fulfillment that comes from healing. This wish fulfillment could be, it wasn't as bad as you thought. This wish fulfillment could be that there was love there, even though it didn't work out. This could be I feel like you're going to get information collective that is going to be really healing, and then this will go upright. In the divine's eyes, this will go upright, meaning we've wrapped this cycle up, but now judgment will be in your hands, meaning you'll have a decision to make about what you want to do now that the divine has said you've wrapped up this cycle. Because I'm getting the cycle isn't wrapped up at this time. No matter how much you guys want to avoid the past, something isn't done and it needs to be done. You can't move on to the new timeline until this is complete. And it's with the Six of Cups, it's surrounding a relationship closest to you. Some of you guys, it's a family member. The Emperor. Some of you guys, it's a man. Wow. Some of you guys are trying to challenge a decision somebody made to walk away. Some of you are going to be challenged. Some of you guys made a decision to walk away from somebody because it isn't wish fulfillment. So you're no longer trapped in your mind about trying to make something work with somebody. You've released it and are now looking forward to wish fulfillment, but have identified that the partnership that you're in isn't. This person is going to try to convince you not to walk away from them. Why? Because they're the Emperor. Don't leave me. I'm the Emperor. Don't leave me. I'm stable. Don't leave me. Right? For some of you, this is somebody returning back from the past as the Emperor. And they want to discuss with you this Eight of Cups when the relationship dissolved. They want to discuss it. But the difference is they are in a different, that would make sense. So for some of you, you didn't get closure from the past because you couldn't get it until both people matured enough to have the conversation, both matured enough to have the capacity, the heart capacity, the love to be able to actually look at the past from an objective place, a place of love, understanding, maturity. So for many of you, the closure that's coming into you couldn't have come before for that reason. So now it looks like the divine is returning somebody back to your life, but they are a lot more mature. They are a lot more clear about their own actions, their own wants, their own desires, their own past versions of self. Aries is also Emperor energy. So that's why, whether male or female, this is somebody who is very clear about self, which is now why it would be easier to talk about things from the past, because there's like a contrast. Somebody isn't the same as they were before, which is why they can talk about the past from an objective place. Because if somebody didn't mature from the past, they would talk to you about the past no different than they talked to you back then about the present. Blame, projection, deflection, lack of accountability. I'm not seeing that here. That's why judgment is in reverse. The divine knows how the past is supposed to reconcile, what kind of closure you're supposed to gain from the past. And it looks like it hasn't happened yet, and it's going to. So, yeah. Because I already see some of you guys being like, no. What you're saying no to is reconciling with this person. But the divine isn't offering you a reconciliation. You would decide if you want to reconcile. What the divine is offering you is an opportunity to heal and gain closure where there wasn't. And then the decision will be yours. the Fool, whether you want to start over, take a leap of faith to start over, or take a leap of faith to seek out another person. Because for many people, you have past karmic people offering you what you always wanted. But it was what you always wanted when you were a karmic. So some of you are actually going to say, no, I'm not going to take this offer, even though it was everything I wanted from you, because I have faith that I can manifest somebody who will offer that to me from this place now. That reflects my idea of love, sex, and relationship now. Yeah, for some of you, there's a past person, the Queen of Cups in reverse. You're not open to this person. And then the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands in reverse. Wow. They came out together, but the King of Wands is in reverse. Yeah, some of you are telling me I don't want this person anymore. You're not getting what I'm saying. It's not about you wanting somebody. It's about you needing to recognize you need healing. This is why the past is returning back to you with Judgment in reverse. It's telling me it hasn't happened yet, but it will. I'm also seeing that for some of you, you were quite insecure in your karmic cycle, and the person that you were dating, or this friend or this romantic partner, or whoever this person is, was actually the confident one. I'm seeing a switch. I'm seeing this person is now quite insecure about themselves, and I'm seeing you collective quite secure. So I'm seeing a karmic shift in security, self-worth. The Eight of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Four of Wands. Somebody could be rushing. Somebody could be putting a lot of pressure on you to make a decision about getting back together with them, marrying them, moving in. And I just feel like the more somebody pressures somebody, the more this person is going to push you away, or you'll push somebody away. Somebody needs to be able to identify. Yeah, somebody needs to be able to identify and respect somebody's process. Somebody wants to catch you in a commitment. Somebody knows that you're sought after. Somebody knows that people want you. Somebody knows that you have a lot of options with the Seven of Cups romantically. And I feel like somebody is trying to put pressure on you to commit to them because they feel like they're in competition for you. And they want the competition to be done. So they want you to just commit and say, yeah, you're in it. They want to lock you down, Capricorn. Somebody wants to lock you down. But it feels like it's out of a place of insecurity and fear. Not out of a place of like love and serious passion, because the King of Wands is in reverse. So that passion is now like, it's low vibrational. The Sun, the Hangman, and Temperance. This is the divine trying to get somebody to see the bright side. This is about being open to healing. Some of you guys don't even think you need it. This is the divine saying, can you see the need to there's clarity and healing that you are not manifesting because you say you don't need it, you don't care. And the divine is saying, in order to wrap up this karmic cycle, you need to acknowledge that you want clarity and you want healing. And you wanted this before, but you were trying to control it. You didn't give it to the divine. That's not how you manifest. Identify what it is you need, clarity and healing, and then allow the divine to bring that in. Then we've got the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. This is your energy, Capricorn, and I just see that you don't believe somebody. Somebody's communicating to you and you do not believe them. Somebody could be trying to convince you to re-sign a karmic contract with them and you just don't want to do it. Ten of Wands, burden. That's what I'm saying. This isn't about reconciling. This is about healing and clarity, coming back into union with the past so you can see things clearly. And you won't even be open to clarity and healing if you keep telling yourself that the past returning has something to do about you needing to reconcile and come back into union with it. Like, date this person again, be friends again. So a lot of the time we only want healing if there's something we can get from it. When really what you need to look at, what you want and what you need to receive is just the healing and clarity. And then collective, you have a decision of whether or not you want to reconcile. And it looks like for many of you, you won't. Because you're here upright, and then the Ace of Swords and the Three of Pentacles is in reverse. You do not believe that it would be a good idea to come out of singlehood, to embark in a relationship with this person again, but you feel very happy and you feel grateful that there was healing that occurred. So now the past is really put to bed, and now judgment is upright. Divine says you're done with this now. You can move forward. But I'm getting that the divine is telling you you can't move forward from the past because you haven't wrapped up the karmic cycle yet. You don't even see it clearly. You don't fucking, how can you wrap up a karmic cycle? You don't even fucking know what's going on. There's a whole part that hasn't happened yet. But I'm just seeing Caps just going, well, I'm moving forward. The divine's like, well, we'll see about that. Well, for others of you, the Ten of Wands, for some of you, this is you. This is you being forced to come out of codependency, right? The divine is going to force singlehood. Because some of you guys were not taking heed to the need to be alone. There was fears about being alone, and now the divine is going to bring a tower moment and make that happen. So this could be a partner who doesn't want to reconcile. This could be a breakup. This could be you, Capricorn, trying to convince somebody not to leave you, and really what you're convincing them, because I'm feeling like if that's the case, Capricorn, and it's you, this person isn't a viable fit. What you're convincing them to do is not leave you alone. And that's where judgment energy is. There's a need to go through the karmic cycle of becoming independent. And I'm seeing somebody avoiding becoming independent by serial dating, never spending time alone, bouncing from one relationship to another, begging partners to not leave them, chasing people, things of that nature. The High Priestess and the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Cups again. Some of you, for some of you, you have somebody who came. There's somebody, I'm tapping into somebody who, this is romantic, somebody who was in a really codependent relationship, who was afraid about embarking in another relationship because they don't want to become codependent or have somebody codependent over them. They worked really hard to achieve their independence, but now they're considering wanting to get back into a relationship and they're a bit afraid. Somebody could be observing you, and the reason why they're observing you is they want to see how independent you are, because that will put them at ease with regards to I'm getting that there's a masculine who has feminines that get very codependent over him, because this masculine is very caring and supportive. We have the Emperor, protective. So then this Emperor will manifest a lot of women who will leech off of him and become really codependent. But now I see this man who's dropped that cycle, Ten of Wands, dropped the burden of that cycle, but is now thinking about going into another cycle and is looking at you, collective, and going, well, I don't want to get into another situation, so let me watch, collective, and see how independent they really are. For some of you, this person has been watching you, and they actually realize now, whoever this was who was in a codependent, whoever this masculine was who was in codependent relationships, actually is looking at you and seeing what real independence looks like. So what's funny is now this King of Cups is actually getting to see how codependent he was, which is why he attracted these kind of women. Some of you, collective, are really showing people what the fuck it means to be independent, to be a go-getter. You're the High Priestess. And look at this person looking at you. So it's really funny. The way they feel on their karmic cycle with feminines is very different than how they feel when they look at you. It's actually the opposite. It's almost like the divine is getting them to feel how their karmic partners felt being around them, being so independent, stable, and abundant. Now they're looking at you and they're kind of feeling the same way. I don't think it's as bad because I don't think they're that codependent, but I do feel like somebody is intimidated by your independence. Why? Because I feel this competitive energy. You know, we talk about like if like I've done research and they talk about the difference like Adam and then they talk about Lilith and Eve. This is a masculine who went through karmic cycles with Eve, but now is attracted to Lilith. But we know the story about Adam and Lilith. We know why they came out of union. We know why Adam needed Eve. It was because Lilith, okay, Lilith was everything the masculine was plus the feminine. Lilith actually teaches the feminine and masculine to come into union with themselves. So together they can add up to what Lilith is. It's Lilith. A lot of you guys don't come from the line of Eve. You come from the line of Lilith. But we're going to leave that one there. That's a whole live on its own. All right, Capricorns. Then we've got the Four of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Five of Wands, the Page of Swords, and Strength. It's funny, I'm getting the impression, collective, that somebody has a problem with you, but they don't have the strength to address it. Somebody has a beef with the High Priestess, but they ain't got the Queen of Swords has a beef with the High Priestess. She's in conflict. She has some competition. There's a feminine that's in competition with you, and you don't even know it. Look, Lilith ain't looking, like, collective ain't even looking this way. But there's somebody who has a beef. They feel in competition with you. You're ignoring them. You're none the wiser. But somebody is, they don't even have, they're watching you. They're watching you. Somebody's watching you. Okay, there could be a masculine, there could be a feminine that knows that there's a masculine interested in you. I don't know if this feminine is even dating this masculine. I think she's into this masculine and wants this masculine to date her. And he's wondering why this masculine, she's wondering why this masculine won't give her the time of day. So now this feminine is trying to figure out who this masculine's really into, what he's really into, and then she finds out he's watching the Empress. Now this feminine feels in competition with the Empress. With the High Priestess, sorry. I'm getting that somebody has a problem with you. They don't have the inner strength to even address it. They don't, somebody wants to beef you, but they can't. I mean, they could, but they don't have the strength to drop the sword of truth. That's what this strength in reverse is about. They don't have the strength to really drop their sword of truth and go to battle with the High Priestess. Because I'll tell you right now, you try to go to war with the High Priestess, she'll chop you at your knees with the truth. And you'll never walk the same. You'll never look the same neither. The challenge is the Four of Swords, healing from the past. And the Three of Swords. This is the challenge. It came out in reverse. Some of you guys don't want to revisit the past, but you would have to in order to heal it. Everybody says, I don't want to revisit it. I don't want to rehash it. Well, if you don't want to rehash it and it hasn't been healed, you will literally perpetuate this in your life and always have these problems, always come to these circumstances, these conclusions, whatever. So this is the collective saying, okay, fine. I'm going to reflect on past heartbreak. This is heartbreak that already occurred, but the divine's asking you to look at it and identify where there's still wounding, where there needs to be healing, and where you're not really clear. Some of you guys came up with conclusions, your own conclusions and assumptions about why things were the way they were, and the divine wants you to reflect back and acknowledge that you don't know. There's pain in not knowing and not having clarity. Don't let it haunt you. Just surrender to what you don't know. I don't know. I have no clue. Sometimes we struggle with that. We have to have an answer. We have to know. The whole tarot community, our whole community is based on us having to know. A bunch of fucking high priestess. Well, I gotta know and I can't wait. Right? Divine's going to tell us to look within and just surrender to what we don't know, because the minute you do, that clarity comes in from the past. This is all divinely guided. This is how we're wrapping up karma in sex, love, and relationships for many of you guys. Okay? And then at the bottom of the deck is Nine of Swords. What are you guys stressed about? Giving up. Wow, somebody is stressed because somebody gave up. Some of you guys put in a lot of effort because the Nine of Wands upright is determination. You were determined to make certain things happen. I feel like people took advantage of how hard you work to maintain relationships and keep things going. And then there's somebody who's really stressed because whoever this is has given up. They stopped putting effort. They stopped blaming themselves for why things wouldn't work out and telling themselves, well, if I do this and I do this and I do this, it'll work. This person said, I value all the efforts that I put into the relationship, and now somebody's stressed because somebody's pulling back their energy. All this work. This is somebody taking advantage of the work that somebody always put in. They put it in from the beginning to the end of the relationship. But now, Nine of Wands in reverse, they've given up on that. They're no longer putting in this work and in this energy, and somebody is very stressed and hurt about that. I'm getting this is the codependent person. Ace of Cups in reverse. This is somebody who doesn't love themselves, who bared the burden of self-love onto somebody else. I'll love myself as long as this person keeps putting in this effort. All this effort somebody put into somebody is what they were relying on to love themselves. Somebody is going to go through a massive heart chakra awakening because this person's going to pull back their efforts and they're going to have to learn to love themselves. House of Self. Other people don't need to love you to be worth something. People don't need to love you to feel good about yourself. People don't need to do these things. It's like needing to really go within. So there's that. Seven of Cups, somebody's no longer confused about what they really want, which is really beautiful. Somebody's no longer entertaining multiple options. They've narrowed it down to one. Some of you guys were dating multiple people. You've narrowed it down to one. You can see clearly who you want to engage in a relationship with. Some of you guys are no longer having sex with multiple people. You've decided you only want to sleep with one person in particular. Somebody's no longer entertaining these options. Third-party situation. Somebody's not. For some of you, somebody's stopped having sex with somebody else in order to pursue a relationship with you. So it's no longer a third party, or it's not going to be a third party. Some of you are afraid of a third party, but it looks like somebody's only having sex with one person. Maybe they weren't before and they are now. I don't know. Okay. Then we've got the Page of, and the Lovers. Ooh. And then the Chariot. And then the Knight of Swords. Somebody wants to date you. Somebody wants to express how they feel. Somebody is very clear about wanting to be with you. The only reason why they haven't made themselves clear is because they have a secret. The Chariot's in reverse with the Knight of Swords. They're not willing to say the truth. They feel like you won't maybe accept them or want them if they reveal this truth. So it's getting somebody to not pursue what it is they've already decided they wanted, which looks like you, collective. King of Pentacles. Six of Wands in reverse, and the World. Somebody gave up on something that doesn't work. Somebody put in all this effort. This King of Pentacles put in all this effort to make something work, but now loves themselves enough to say, I'm good enough. I value my efforts, even though this situation in particular didn't work out. They're not, this King of Pentacles isn't going to now devalue everything that they offer and then go out in the world and date other people and treat them like shit. They're going to continue to treat people the way they did on their car. Like, they're going to continue to stand up properly in relationships. They're not going to become jaded. Somebody put in a lot of effort in a relationship and they are done. That's what I'm seeing here. They've made a decision to love themselves. Somebody could be holding back from telling you that they don't want to be with you anymore, but you would know that based on their behavior and the energy that would resonate with you right away. Then we've got the Two of Cups, the Devil in reverse, the Knight of Cups in reverse, and the Three of Wands. Somebody is preparing. Wow. Whoa. This is amazing. Some of you guys cut out a toxic tie and you didn't even know how much that toxic tie negatively impacted you moving forward into a new path. You didn't focus on the new path. You didn't focus on none of that. You focused on this devil energy. You fought this devil energy, and now all of a sudden you're victoriously able to move forward in your new timeline. I'm seeing you go, fuck, if I knew this, I would have done this way sooner. That's what I'm seeing collective saying. If I fucking knew, I would have done this way sooner. Some of you guys are saying this about a romantic partner. If I fucking knew about this person, I would have dropped them a lot sooner. Somebody feels like they wasted a lot of time with somebody, but at the same time, they knew they needed to learn lessons, and they knew that there were signs telling them that somebody was toxic. All right, and then we're going to wrap up with the Karma Angels, okay? Thank you, guys. All right, please like, share, subscribe. Talk about the energies that you are dealing with. If you don't resonate with this reading, it's nobody's fault, not mine, not yours, but you're part of this community. Why not share what you are going through? I'm sure there'll be people who resonate with you in the comments and stuff like that. Angel gang gang. All right, and Patreon.com/Queen Cup for daily, weekly content. Instagram, Smudge a Lot Inc. If you guys want to see how to make the butter and just kind of see the behind the scenes of the business and what we're doing with Smudge a Lot, you can check that out there, okay? But all that info is below. I'm still not accepting personal readings at this time. All right, Zadkiel, number 32, again with the fives. It's all about 2021, okay? This is the presence of forgiveness and mercy, of sparing someone's suffering. It is righteousness that has checked itself and been cleared of all suspicion. In a reading, it shows that there is no harmful intent and that the situation is as it appears. Challenge to accept what has been presented to you. Lesson, working as if something is true can lead it to becoming true. This has to do about the past returning. It's coming back to you. Somebody's coming back to you genuinely wanting healing, genuinely wanting to express themselves, genuinely wanting to know how you feel and what your truth is about a situation. It's very clear. It shows there is no harmful intent. That speaks of the healing the divine is trying to bring in. But if somebody from the past hurt you, your first thought is going to be like, you're trying to hurt me again. And the divine saying, no, man, this person actually wants to talk about the pain that has occurred. Some of you guys victimize yourself and don't realize that the people who hurt you were actually living in pain too about the situation. You just think it was all you because of your end user experience. That's why karma is in reverse. It hasn't been cleared. You don't have the other perspective. You don't know. But you're about to find out, and the divine wants you to be open because this mutual perspective is going to bring healing and wrap up this karmic cycle, regardless of what you decide to do with it going forward, because I don't know. Because judgment then goes upright, and then that becomes your decision, your judgment call about how you want to proceed. So where that reading isn't even this. This is leading up to that, about the healing and wrapping up of the karmic cycle. Okay, guys? So that is your January reading, all right? And until the next time I see you guys, keep letting your inner angels live. Mwah. Happy New Year.